An explanation regarding penalty points has been added. Penalty points refer to specific point values that are assigned to each type of violation category. Obscene, indecent expressions, aggressive expressions such as violent language, slander, insults, threats, and vary depending on the severity of the violation type. The total sum of these penalty points determines the type of penalty an offender will receive. Penalty points together with an actual penalty issued are recorded and will be used to determine the penalties for future violations. So they're explaining how you get penalty points in this game now. Although they were internal information and were not publicly explained until now, we have added an explanation as they are essential in understanding the system of reduction of penalty points mentioned below. There are no changes to the procedures. So they're actually going to tell us how getting banned works, how penalties work. A system has been implemented in which accrued penalty points may be reduced if a significant amount of time has passed since the last penalty was issued. This is important. So for those that didn't know, in this game, if you get a ban, if you get a suspension, it lasts forever. If you got 2 suspensions in Final Fantasy XIV beta, and you came back in Shadowbringers and messed up and made another mistake, your account was permabanned, your forum account was deleted, and there was no way to get anything back. Even if there was a 7 or an 8 year gap between your things you did. So you could have been 8 years ago, you could have been, you know, I don't know, an edgy teenager. You could have been just like cursing at people and saying you're a fucking idiot, blah blah blah, and eating a couple bans, and then you're like, oh, I'm on my last one, never mind. 8 years, you could come back, you're in Limsa, you hug someone 10 times, or you use holy a couple times in Limsa, and someone reports you for spamming them with spamming near them with hugs, which most people don't know is a ban. Most people don't know that you can go to your friend in town and hug them 5 times or something, and someone else sees that in the chat log, which is on by default, by the way, and they can just report you and get you banned. You can use holy a few times in town, and you can get reported and get banned. These are all things that have happened in the game. Yes, you can get banned for spamming holy near the threat. All it takes is someone to report you for it. People can bait you into doing that too. Someone could run up to you and do it a couple times, and you could go crazy with it, and then they could report you for that, for spamming it on them. Or they could type, please stop doing that, and you might think they're being tongue-in-cheek because they started it, and you might keep going, and then they can ban you. So yeah, there's been people that have baited people into bans doing this kind of stuff, and they never remove them. Square Enix is very brutal. They've always been probably one of the most brutal companies I've ever seen when it comes to bans. You just don't get your ban lifted. You're perma-banned. You lose your game, you lose your characters, you lose everything. Which probably helps the RMT community, honestly. They're finally going to make those penalty points be reduced over time, like other games. Penalties. It's basically, have you guys heard of a VAC ban or whatever? Like Steam VAC ban? I think it's called VAT or VAC. It's like the worst possible thing you could get. It's a permanent mark on your account that you were a hacker. That's basically what Square Enix does. It's like they just knock you out, but it's not a marking. They actually ban you from playing the game. So, penalties are intended to urge offenders to reflect on their violations and discourage repeat violations. However, we have confirmed cases where the permanence of past penalties instead led offenders to commit subsequent violations. For example, offenders might think penalties won't go away and may repeat violations without remorse or commit the same violation again as the remorse fades over time. I've seen multiple people do this before in this game, guys. They're like, I'm on my last thing, fuck it, I'm gonna go get banned right now, fuck it, I already have 3 other accounts ready. I know how this game works. I'm gonna go get this account banned. I don't give a shit anymore. Because they're like, the bans never go away. Why would I invest more in this account when it's inevitably gonna probably when it's got 2 out of 3 strikes? And if I even try and behave myself, it's gonna get banned later. So they're like, fuck it, I've got my other account ready. You know, they'll buy another account or something, and they'll just go and say, I don't care about this account anymore, let's go get banned. You know, there was someone I heard that macroed every single GCD and OGCD in their entire hotbar so that it shouted in the alliance chat and the party chat with sound effects every time they clicked it. Every single GCD and OGCD. And they had another one that was if it crit or not. They would hit one saying it crit, woo, or something. And I think they got banned for something like 4,000 sound effects and macros used in the chat after that alliance. So yeah, people will just not give a fuck anymore. They'll go crazy. We felt that Decay would provide users with a better clear goal with correcting their behavior. Since penalties would lose their significance if they were erased after a short period, penalty points accrued from penalties of the lowest severity, a caution, will not start decaying until at least 1 year. If you get a warning, it takes a year for your caution to decay. This still might be harsh enough that people won't care. Honestly. This might be so harsh that people won't care. If it was 6 months, I'd probably understand. But a year is a long time for a warning. Just to give you an idea of what you can get a warning for. Remember I said slash hugging someone in town could get you banned? Sometimes they might just give you a warning. Those involving a temporary service suspension or more severe will not start decaying until a minimum of 3 to 6 years has passed. This isn't going to change anything. This is basically, I wouldn't say this is even better than nothing. Like, this doesn't matter. This is too long. If it takes 3 to 6 years for you to lose a suspension point that you got from slash hugging someone from your friend in town and someone else reported you, or from using holies near your friend in town and someone else reported you, like if that's the shit that gets people banned, and it takes 3 to 6 years for those to fall off, nope, RMT is still going to thrive. People are still going to buy accounts because they don't trust that they can't avoid bans in this game. Like if they keep doing bans like that, then yeah, no one gives a fuck about this anymore. This isn't enough, right? They're still gonna say, fuck it, I'm gonna get banned randomly for shit I'm not even trying to do. Yeah, Arthur's ban is now on his account for 3 to 6 years, apparently. Damn. And that wasn't even a ban that you could get unless you were streaming. It was strictly a streamer ban, which is a unique ban, I think. Think about it, almost 2 expansions until the ban falls off. Almost 2 expansions until the minimum duration. This says 3 to 6 years. 6 years. Okay, 6 years? Like, what are you gonna do in 6 years? If you like the game, you're literally gonna go on the black market and buy an account and say, fuck it, I'll just get this one banned. Like, think about it. You have to think how these people think, okay? We believe users who manage to maintain a good in-game behavior during this period will not suddenly forget their long-term commitment, even if the reduction system erases their accrued penalty points. The problem with this whole thing is I need to see them update how you actually get banned. Like, I need to actually... Maybe I'm talking too early, guys. Maybe I should finish the document, because maybe they'll mention it. The reduction of accrued points is based on the amount of time that has passed since the last penalty. Therefore, if a subsequent violation is committed before a reduction occurs, then the countdown toward a reduction will reset at that point. In addition, the system will not reverse a service account termination. So, if you mess up at 2.9 years and they scheduled you to reset at 3 years, it resets and you get a second point. So you got to be a good boy for 3 to 6 years in a row if you get a suspension, guys. Okay? 3 to 6 years in a row. You know how people be good in this game? They don't use say chat. They don't use emotes. They don't cast spells. They basically live in their FC house. They isolate from everyone else that might report them. And I guess they just don't do dungeons with randos because they're scared of getting reported. Refer to the account penalty policy for general information regarding decay points. We thank you all for your continued support, and we'll continue to review our policies. So, okay, so that's the end of that, but they said they updated sections regarding prohibited activities that arise. I need to find this, guys. Where do I find this? I need to find this. It's in the TOS somewhere, I think. I need to find the Final Fantasy TOS and find this section. If anyone can find this for me, I would appreciate that. because that's what I want to read, because that actually has exactly what gets you banned. All right, here we go. Final Fantasy is an online game. We prohibit extreme content which we deem particularly disagreeable and undesirable in constructive exchanges between player. Communication can take place in a variety of styles. As such, we do not condone specific words or sentences. Instead, we look at the whole picture in order to judge the intent and meaning of the communication in conjunction with how the person on the receiving end perceived it, to determine whether or not the exchange falls under prohibited activities. Please be kind and respectful and keep in mind how others may feel about what you say. If you think your comment may make another person feel even a little bit uncomfortable, it would be best to refrain from saying it. This is important because this basically means... This could be said that if you have someone that wants to speak to your manager and demands that you scan these 10 coupons and is yelling and is just making demands and they're just wiping your team 10 times, if you make them feel uncomfortable, it would be best you refrain from saying it. Which basically means silently just kick them. But is that an action that would make them uncomfortable? That could get you in trouble. This is why I don't like playing on NA as much, guys, because the people that abuse reporting there's like they're all on NA basically. Like all the Karens in this game that I've seen, the vast majority of them are on NA. Like the people that say that are like, you don't pay my sub. I've only ever seen that unironically typed on like Primal and occasionally Ether. You have a lot of Karens and Chaos too. Damn. Elemental's more comfy. I've never seen that. People are generally more respectful here. I've always said I feel like these rules are made for JP, and they're trying to apply it to a culture that is more prone to abuse these rules. JP culture is very different, and I feel like these rules work better there. But if you have a culture where everyone is, you have a few people that are extremely selfish and act extremely rude, I don't feel like things like this apply as well. Additionally, something that may be intended as a joke between friends could in fact make the other person feel uncomfortable, but they may not say so to be considerate. This rings true for longtime friends where respect may be more important in the relationship. Please note, even in situations where a violation is made, if the parties involved can reach a mutual resolution, it will not be treated as such. Communication-based conflict can be resolved via subsequent communication. Therefore, if you accidentally express something inappropriately, we encourage you to accept your mistake and take appropriate action to correct it. This is weird. Something that may be intended as a joke between friends could make the other person feel uncomfortable. Is there a third party that's listening to friends banter and they're reporting them? Is that what's happening here? Like, can't they be... Here's my problem with this, guys. This is encouraging people to report each other instead of being adult and ask each other and talk to each other. Like, you shouldn't report people for a misunderstanding. You should talk first, and then it's like, oh, you guys are joking. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're joking. We're not. We're good friends. Like, if two guys call each other dickhead, that will get you banned in Final Fantasy. Like, think about this. If you're working in the office, two guys might be like, ah, you dickhead, and the other guy might be like, ah, you dickhead. If you do that in FF, someone might be like, wow, oh my gosh, these guys just called each other something very rude. I am going to report them. And I feel like that's weird. I don't have a problem with this being applied to JP, guys, because they have a different culture. I have an issue with the abuse of these rules. Anyway, let's continue here. There's a lot of people that easily deserve the ban. I would like to just say there's a ton of people that are super negative, very rude, very loud, and seemingly attacking everyone. Easily, you know, and every party they go in, they just ruin. They'll sit on the ground, they'll demand things, they'll say, do this or I'm not healing you. I think those people are the ones that, you know, they deserve it because they're ruining every single party they're in. They're like, their actions are ruining parties. And they're doing it on purpose. Harassment is a speech and or behavior that inflicts deep emotional distress on another person. It is an extremely serious violation. Where Square Enix determines that harassment has occurred, a penalty equal to or higher than a temporary account service suspension may be imposed. Basically, if you're throwing racial slurs at someone, you're gonna get banned, obviously. That's basically what this part says here. It is prohibited to do this anywhere an expression can be made, such as chat, quick chat in PvP, macros and emotes, markers, comments, or titles. It is also a violation in cases where a player's character name involves a term that could be considered harassment in any way. Additionally, when harassment involves a group of players, all corresponding players will be subject to penalties. Below is a non-exhaustive list of behavior that constitutes harassment. Discriminatory expression based on race, name, gender, ethnicity, state, religion, organization. Obscene and indecent expressions. Obscene and indecent expressions. Using a combination of emotes and motions to mimic grinding against another character. Using movements that are evocative of sexual activities. I'm sorry to tell you this, guys, but all of Limsa is about to be banned. Every time I go to Limsa, that's all I see is people sitting on each other's faces. People thrusting. People just, moan in the middle of town. Goodbye, Limsa. Goodbye, Limsa. Limsa is dead. Limsa is dead. If you're on Balmung, the Sands are dead. They're really dead. If all members of a free company think that slightly vulgar jokes are not a problem and will not cause offense, then using expressions that fall under the category of slightly vulgar jokes in the free company in question will not be considered a violation unless it is reported. However, the perception of slightly vulgar jokes varies from person to person, and there is a possibility that what you consider to be a slightly vulgar joke may be considered unacceptable by others. Please be careful when making these kinds of expressions. Furthermore, in a free company with 10 members, if 9 out of 10 tolerate the behavior but 1 does not, and 1 files a report, and we confirm it has taken place, a penalty will be issued. You should also be aware that even if 9 of the existing free company members tolerate it, if you are joined by a new member who does not tolerate it, at that point, your group is no longer unanimously tolerant of the behavior and may be penalized if a report is made. This is like reminding me of like North Korea or the CCP or some shit. This is like if your family says something that is against the rules, you should report them. And no, you literally can. This is so abusable. You literally can have someone saying "yep cock" in the FC. And if you don't like that FC anymore, you can just slam report all of them. You can snitch on this says if 9 out of 10 people in an FC are okay with slightly vulgar jokes, and 1 person doesn't like it, they can blanket report the entire FC and get the entire FC banned. That's what this is saying. No, it's not the opposite. This is saying 1 person that wants to pull these rules is all. It is not about the majority. Just got to be super careful about who you invite to the FC. Fuck that. Don't type in FC chat anymore, guys. If you say cock, if you swear, if you make slightly vulgar jokes, don't type in your FC ever again. You're using Discord from now on. Basically, just don't type in this game. Like, I log into an FC, I'm not going to say which one, and people will be like, yep, cock, and they'll make these silly jokes, and everyone has a laugh. If it takes 1 person to ban that entire FC, and this is actually stating this, that means we all have to basically self-censor heavily in FC chat if you think there might be someone in that FC that just wants to get you in trouble. This is saying FCs are not safe. They're not safe zones. They're not your friend group. They are public speech. Hey, if you don't believe me, it says it right in this article. In the case of role-playing involving mildly sexual expressions such as erotic role-playing with a consenting group, if it is in a private area, it will not be considered a violation unless a report is made. If 1 person doesn't like your slightly vulgar joke in a free company, you can all get banned. But you can consensually ERP sexually in a game that is 13 and up or 16 and up. You're actually kidding me right now. However, they have to worry about the same thing. if a report is made, it becomes a violation. This can't be someone inside the XIV team. This is Square Enix themselves, Prez. This is Square Enix themselves. This is declassified rules, basically. These have been hidden for years from us, and they've actually revealed them today. So we're actually going to know how you can or can't get banned now. Now I already kind of knew not to swear in this game. Now I really know don't swear. Don't joke. Don't make vulgar jokes. Don't really talk. Keep it in Discord. When you're bantering, when you're bantering, just keep it in Discord. If you're saying cock and stuff and being weird and, you know, making slightly vulgar jokes. Okay, my stream is at the very least slightly vulgar. I could get banned 100 times over in one day if everything I said on stream I put in the game. And people wanted to ban me. What is slightly vulgar? Use your imagination, Chris. Look at Twitch chat for 10 minutes, and it's that. As you can see, expressions that fall under this category are generally prohibited. Hang on, I missed the line. However, if you encourage or invite a player to participate in roleplay without being certain of their consent, there's a high possibility you will be reported and penalized. Please be careful. They said penalized. I'm banned! As you can see, expressions that fall under the category are generally prohibited. So even if one player witnesses such an expression, finds it offensive, there's a possibility that it will be reported. What is considered offensive will vary from person to person. So if you believe there's any chance that you may offend someone, you should refrain from making expressions. I would like to remind you guys that this is the central problem with framing harassment around the offense taken from someone. If the level of someone else's offense is how you frame the definition of harassment, you cannot ever say anything again. Because there's always someone that's going to be offended by literally everything. And the people I'm talking about are, you don't speak to my manager, you don't pay my sub, how dare you do this around me? You know, the people that have like a god complex that are always mad. Yeah, it says 2 or more players, by the way. You want to have an orgy? Go ahead. Square Enix says you can go have an orgy if you want. Anyway, again, I'm not condoning people that are, you know, for the most part, agreeably being rude to other people. I don't like that. I don't like people being mean to people. I don't like people being rude to people. But I don't think if you're being an upbeat, jolly group and you throw a joke about a cock in your own FC, you should be worried about this. Honestly. You know, I would expect people to be a bit more mature than that. I've played games many years ago where everyone was generally more mature than that. Anyway, please note they may issue a penalty at its discretion even if a report has not been filed, but the act was found being conducted in public areas such as Say, Chout, Search Comments, Party Finder, online video and streaming services. You guys better not be ERPing on Twitch. You better not ERP on Twitch, guys. Guys, what do you mean me? I don't ERP. Unless you mean epic raid play. It's probably because most FCs just absorb players and not really friend groups. I think if you feel like you would never have drama in your FC, you haven't played MMOs long enough. I've seen every guild break up. Every guild breaks up eventually. I know that sounds sad. Every guild breaks up eventually, and probably more than half the time, it's some drama. There is betrayal. There's a traitor. Some shit happens. And the fact that this game would let that traitor sweeping ban everyone or report them or get them at least a warning is alarming to me. It always happens. It's not a problem with the game. It's not necessarily a problem with guilds. It's human nature in large groups. It just happens. People form little tribes and stuff. Okay. Actions that inflict emotional distress by using expressions related to historical events or crimes. What? It is prohibited to use expressions that may upset the feelings of victims of historical events or crimes to offend others. I wish we had another indecent/crime. What? Is that like saying I wish we had another 9/11 or some shit? I am a big fan of a specific criminal group, hate group, or tragic accident. So that's saying I'm a big fan of the 7th Umbral era. Basically, all of this TOS stuff was made by Eorzea against the Garleans, and they're trying to weed out Garlemald spies. Victim of an indecent crime is just playing the victim. I hate that one. I hate it when people do that. To be honest, though, Bahamut didn't do anything wrong, guys. He was just getting revenge. He was summoned. He couldn't do any. He was merely a tool used by the Garleans and the Allegans. Okay, thousands of dragons were tortured for thousands of years. Their hate fueled Bahamut. He was used as a battery. He didn't do anything wrong. Bahamut did nothing wrong. Okay? He was a force of nature. He did not make the choice. He was a force of nature. Okay? The Garleans and the Allegans did shit wrong. Okay, guys? It was the Garleans and the Allegans. Bahamut is like Godzilla. It's a force of nature. All right, guys? Is he evil? Is he intelligent? Yes, but I feel like he is merely following his nature, and there's no other way it could have happened because the ether that was used to form him was for that purpose, okay? It was done intentionally. They basically created think of him like an AI nuke that was designed by the Allegans. Think of him like that. That's how I think of Bahamut. It is prohibited to stalk a player. As described in the following examples, if a report has been filed, a penalty will be issued. Persistently moving to locations where someone is, despite being asked to stop. This is why if I follow a random person, they say stop, I do it. Persistently sending messages to someone or directed at someone through tell or other means, despite being asked to stop. Ambushing someone at their destination or their housing estate, despite being asked to stop. Persistently sending a friend or party request, despite being asked to stop. Creating a new character to message someone who's blacklisted you, despite being asked to stop. Attempting to make contact in game with someone despite official authorities forbidding contact with them in real life. This is all good. I've known people that have been, I'm not going to name them because I don't want to embarrass them, but I've known people that have been stalked aggressively in this game, guys. They've already changed their PFs. Help me out. You gotta give people credit. Every time Square Enix brings the giant hammer down that they take 6 months to create, it's circumvented within 1 day. The last time Square Enix did a major thing in this game to mess with the TOS, or mess with the game, was when they created an add-on called Paisley Park for ACT. And Paisley Park, I think it used trigonometry to place markers automatically during the fight where the safe spots were. So markers got auto-placed as you were playing. Square Enix was like, no. You can no longer place markers in combat. To compensate, we'll give you the ability to save marker sets, and you get more markers. 3 days later, Paisley Park was updated. You can now place markers in combat, client-side only, so that on your game, from your point of view, you can see where to go. 3 days for a permanent change to the rest of the community. This is why I said they literally just need to ban... I don't know what they need to do, dude. They can't ban Discord. But I think it might... Like, they can't ban Discord. But that might be something they'll do eventually. They might do that. They might say you are no longer allowed to send Discord links to each other or some shit. Like, I have no idea what they're going to do. The thing is, though, this is not PF. This is Say Chat. This should be banned. Anyway, if they're spamming and Say, you should report that. Disclosing a person's information, such as contact information, with the aim of meeting up in the real world. Disclosing another person's real-world personal information without permission. Disclosing your own unrequested personal information with the purpose of meeting the other person in real life. Unrequested is very important, guys. Persistently requesting someone to disclose their personal information despite being asked to stop. Disclosing someone's personal information without their permission. So someone comes up to you and they're like, "Hey baby, you look pretty cute, I like your character. and then he pulls out his golden weapon, and he's like, yo, you like guys that clear ultimate? You like them? You like them? Yeah, you just report them. Boom. He and his stupid fucking 5-year-old gold weapon gets sent to Garlemald, which is Brazil in this game. They get sent to Garlemald. Nuisance behavior. Are you guys ready? Here's the one where we all get banned. Nuisance behavior is a speech or behavior that hurts others or obstructs their gameplay, which is not classified as harassment. Even if it was not intended, a penalty may be issued if the end result was the other person was hurt or their gameplay was obstructed. If the behavior was observed, being conducted by multiple players, all involved members may be issued a penalty. Below is a non-exhaustive list of nuisance behavior. Offensive expression means an expression in general that inflicts emotional distress by being offensive to another person. It is prohibited to do this anywhere an expression can be made, such as PvP chat, macros, emotes, markers, comments, or titles. It is a violation in cases where a player's character name involves a term that can be considered offensive in any way. Below is a non-exhaustive list of offensive expressions. It's the same disclaimer as always, guys. They may use discretion with their bans. Using insulting words such as, oh guys, get ready for this. I might get banned off Twitch, everyone. Everyone get ready. I'm gonna get banned off Twitch. Here we go. Are you ready? Words that you cannot use. Close your eyes. Hide your kids, guys. Hide your kids. Hide your weaker spouse that may not be able to handle this. Okay? PTSD medication may need to be on standby, and the EMTs may need to be on speed dial. Here we go. Prohibited language. Stupid. Okay. I'm gonna try and get through this, guys. Stupid. Idiot. Die. Crazy. Garbage. Trash. To offend others. Oh my god. Guys, I think we're gonna need to report every kindergarten in every country in the world right now. I think we're gonna need to report all of the kids. I don't know how I can get through reading this. That just gave me a flashback to when I was 4 years old and someone called me stupid. And I cried for 5 days and had to get extensive therapy. I had to call out of work. I had to take medical leave. In addition, even if you do not use direct words, blaming and attacking others, such as, it's this player's fault that we wiped, or you really make a lot of mistakes, or rephrasing insulting words, any other form, is also prohibited. You're working in a restaurant. You're a cook. You're working with Gordon Ramsay or some shit. He tells you to cook, he gives you the order. You mess it up. You also simultaneously smash 37 dishes on the ground. Then you shit on the ground. Then you piss. Then you slap Gordon Ramsay in the face and cause a wipe. If he even says it's your fault, he's banned. How are you meant to pug? Don't say anything. You don't help people. You don't say anything. You just kick them. If they even seem like the type of person that might report, you blacklist them. If you mess this up, you might have to wait 3 to 6 years for a ban to fall off. For a ban, not a ban, but a suspension point against your account. If a report has been filed and the prohibited activity is confirmed, a penalty will be issued. So far, I've been okay saying it's such and such, but I don't want to be rude. I'll say it was such and such's fault that we wiped, but I don't want to be rude. And then I'll usually say I know who messed up, but I don't want to say it because I don't want to be rude. That's what I always say. And if they're like, no, and if someone's like, no, you feel free to talk about it, we want to learn, and I type it, if that specific person I typed about isn't okay with it, I could get banned. So you actually have to get their consent first. And I'm wondering, what if they say, no, it's totally okay, and then you say it, and you say, wow, you said that really harsh, that's really ruined my game, and then they report you anyway. Like, what? You have to make a Discord. Insulting another person's personal taste You are kidding me. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Insulting another person's personal taste, such as your glamour is terrible. You should quit the game. There's no way someone would take that seriously. Sarcasm isn't allowed, dude. The way you talk disgusts me. Yeah, Nest is banned, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I'm looking around, and I'm currently observing the United Kingdom. You guys are banned. Too much banter. Okay? Too much banter here. Sorry, Europe. You guys banter too much. You guys make tongue-in-cheek comments too much. You joke insult too much. You guys are all banned. Oh, Australia? Yeah, Australia. Sorry, you guys have too much banter. You're getting banned. Your glamour is terrible. You should quit the game. That's basically how raiders say good morning. You join a raid, and then you say that to each other, and then you're like, yeah, you should quit the game too. And you're like, all right, let's do it. Let's start raiding. Insulting others with statements that are unrelated to the subject of the discussion, such as, no wonder you can't do this. Look at how you dress your character. So basically, if you wanted to get automatically banned, you have to say, it's stupid idiot Joey's name with his useless glam that got us wiped. His glamour is terrible, and the way he talks disgusts me. You should quit the game. Like, that's like a quadro whammy right there. Like, you'll just get permaed on the spot if you say that. Insulting others by threatening them with statements such as, if you get on my bad side, you'll be ostracized from this community. Or, I can have you kicked from this group anytime, buddy. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. If a report has been filed and the prohibited activity is confirmed, a penalty will be issued. Question. I'm raising my hand. I have a question. Yes. What if someone says, if you keep bothering me, I'm going to report you? If you tell me how to play, I'm going to report you. Can I report someone for that? If someone says, if I say, hey, can you get the raise? And they say, how dare you tell me what to do? You don't pay my sub. I'll report you if you say anything to me again. Can I report them for that? Because I have seen people who lost their mind when I tried to... I wasn't even trying to be mean. I was just trying to do team effort play with them, and they lost their mind because I talked to them. I remember I was tanking, and I was started clemencing, and the healer was spam healing me when their co-healer was dead and multiple people were dead, and I said, I'll take care of the heals so that you can get the raises. That's all I said. And I think I even put a smiley face in there. And they lost their mind that I said that. How dare I tell them what to do? How dare I tell them how to play? How dare I talk to them when I don't pay their sub? And they just lost their mind, and they didn't raise anybody, and they didn't do anything. They left everyone dead, and I think we wiped. Those types of players are why I don't like these rules. They abuse them so much. Insulting others by threatening them with statements. Okay, we already did that. Using accusatory, I can't talk, expressions or sarcastic remarks without offering any constructive advice. Statements such as, people like you will never get better, are prohibited. If a report has been filed and the prohibited activity is confirmed, a penalty will be issued. This is the most annoying statement ever. I despise when I see these typed in the game. But people type them because they think that this is not a bannable offense. So apparently it is, guys. People are very passive-aggressive in some parties, and they're very mean and very negative, and they put everyone down as much as possible. I like to be positive and uplifting in a party. On stream, you know, I'll act different, I'll say different stuff, but in the party, I try and be as uplifting and encouraging as possible, while sometimes being blunt and neutral. Like, my worst is blunt and neutral. My best is positive and encouraging. But I like vulgar humor, so I still can't type, I guess. And I like productivity, so if someone's being an ass and is slacking off and getting everyone killed and doesn't care, then maybe I'll get banned if I call them out. Attacking someone for doing something different from what you or others maybe feel is the norm. For example, when running a Reliance raids or PvP, It is prohibited to make statements such as, why aren't you doing specific thing? Everyone knows that's how you do this. If a report has been filed and the prohibited activity is confirmed, a penalty will be issued. Here's what I want to know, guys. Here's what I want to know. Is this game a troll haven? That's what I want to know. Is this game a secret troll haven that is about to be, that no one has realized yet? I could write a very long document of ways you could ruin every conceivable party you were ever in whilst getting everyone else banned that you play with. Go into Alliance Roulette as a healer or something, so that no one else, so that you lose one of the healer slots and just mess up everything. You can vote kick, you can report for vote kick. You're missing the fact that you can report for vote kick. There is nothing wrong with providing suggestions that the player community typically follows, but this can only be presented in the form of a suggestion and cannot be in the form of a demand. That's just being polite, guys. Asking or suggesting how someone does something or teaching them is much different than demanding they do it. If said player's actions are interfering with the gameplay of others, then a penalty can be issued once a report is filed and confirmed. However, even in this type of situation, said player is also being attacked, the penalty can be issued to both. This basically says if you're trolling, you can get in trouble. You can get vote kicked then. But if you call someone an idiot and vote kick them, they can report you for calling them an idiot. If someone is being an idiot and you call them that, you can get in trouble at the same time they get in trouble because you called an idiot an idiot. Mocking another person for making mistakes. Statements such as, how can you screw up something so simple and no one messes up? I hope my stream isn't taken as breaking TOS, because on stream, when people are anonymous on my stream and I hide their names, I say the first thing that pops into my head. But I don't want the people I'm playing with to know I'm saying that. Because when I'm playing with them, I encourage them and forgive them and teach them if needed and help them. But in my head, obviously, if you get into a car accident because someone hit the acceleration instead of the brakes, your first thought is, how can you screw up something so simple that no one else messes up? I think it's rude when people say stuff like this. I don't like it. I don't like it when people mock others for making mistakes. Mocking or ridiculing a player who has been knocked out by using emotes. Jumping or using items such as fireworks on top of their dead body. I have done this at least a dozen times on stream. That's actually my favorite thing because I didn't even know they knew about that. I'm not going to do it anymore. Tell me on your dancer you don't run up to someone and just start dancing on their body. Tell me you haven't watched a 1v1 and they mess up the first mechanic and you laugh at them when they die. I've done that. I could have been reported if it bothered the other person. You guys sweep bodies? You're able to be reported now. If you emote another person who has been knocked out, if you jump or use items on their body, if a report has been filed and the activity is confirmed, a penalty will be issued. Remember, these penalties last 3 to 6 years on your account before they start decreasing. Making statements that will hurt the reputation of someone in public areas, such as say and shout, search comments, party finder, and online or video streaming services. Very important. This is how Arthur's got banned. If a report has been filed and the prohibited activity is confirmed, a penalty will be issued. This is why I don't talk names on stream. This is why you hide names on stream. This is why I don't talk names on stream. This is why if someone is known in the entire server as someone that only trolls and ruins parties and is an all-around asshole, if I actually called them out on stream, I could get banned by them. Very important. Even if the person has a reputation known all over the server as someone that is the biggest asshole in the world, it doesn't matter. I will get banned if I call that person out. I cannot use this platform to call anybody out, ever. Excessively criticizing or condemning others. Statements such as, you're bad at this, you're not getting this at all, are prohibited. In the following example, player A is excessively criticizing player B. If player B is not asking for any advice, player A cannot force player B to play a specific way. This type of situation can be determined as an act of excessive criticism. Player A, you're doing this part wrong. I understand. I'll try harder. You understand the mechanics? You want me to teach you? I do understand. I'm okay, thank you. You sure you understand? You keep screwing up. You should do this and this. I understand, I'm sorry. You sure? If you don't know, let me know, okay? You're screwing up so many times. You're really dragging this out for us. I'm sorry. This is excessive. Shut the fuck up. I mean, you're stupid. I mean, oh god damn it, I'm banned. I hope I should have blocked this out, guys. I honestly should have blocked this name out. Now Square Enix is going to have footage of me insulting player A. Sounds like player A needs to shut the fuck up. You know what would be funny though, guys? It's all about context. Because you don't know how long they've been up. Maybe player B has actually failed it 790 times. And it's like Groundhog Day, like they're literally stuck in an endless time loop. And player A did his best all this time to not get banned, but he finally slipped past that line. Aren't they banned from statement 1? I mean, according to this up here, you did this wrong, I think is against the rules. No, you're not. It has to be mocking. If they started by saying, player B, how can you be doing this wrong when everyone else does it right? If they said it like that, then it would be banned. How dragged is this convo? If it's across many polls instead, I could see it happen. I mean, that's the thing. They're going to look at it as one continuous conversation. To them, they're not going to see it as over the course of 2 hours. This player could have messed up for 30 minutes before this guy said anything. 30 minutes again. 30 minutes again. And then they could be saying this after they could have literally wiped them 40 times. Like, we don't know. That's why you need to disband. There's no timestamps in the example. Making statements intended to belittle someone, such as, you can't do something, maybe this is just not possible for you, are prohibited. I mean, yeah, nothing's impossible. That's terrible. It is prohibited for, I don't know why it's fucking banned. Like, I don't know why, I don't like games that ban for stuff like this. I feel like, I don't understand why they don't tell you to use the blacklist feature. Why have a blacklist feature if you can't talk? Why is everyone a child? Why can't people settle things like adults? I feel like things that are breaking TOS on most websites and would be, you know, against the law should be bannable offenses, and everything else is free game and use the blacklist. Like, I don't understand why this game has such severe penalties for everything. It's like they don't want people to play with each other. And I'm not saying, oh, I go into parties and I talk to people mean all the time. I'm very polite. I could still get banned for being polite, because being productive in a raid in a neutral way or a polite way could offend someone who would then get me banned, because productivity and teamwork is toxic to these people. You have to understand, JP culture, it's much more rare. Our culture, much more, many more Karens. It's prohibited for groups of players to target and ridicule a specific player. Yeah, that's fine. Key points. It is prohibited to force a personal view or disregard the opinions of others. What? It is prohibited to force personal views or disregard the opinions of others. If a report has been filed and the prohibited activity is confirmed, a penalty will be issued. It is prohibited to make statements such as, there is no way we can clear this, with suggestion. Basically calling out someone's strat. If you say there's no way we can clear this with Elia in Shiva, you can get banned. Big pulls are normal here, so do it. Asking someone to do big pulls can get you banned. I don't care what you think, just follow my instructions can get you banned. I'm not asking for your opinion can get you banned. Please note that Square Enix may issue a penalty at its discretion even if a report has not been filed, but the act was found being conducted in online streaming services or say chat party finder. It bothers me that literally all of this applies that online streaming services are considered the equivalent of SayChat and Party Finder. What's your backup game, Mr. Streamer? Deleting permanently blocking VODs and clips, I guess. If I get banned because on my stream I say I'm not asking for this guy's opinion, but I'm not typing it to him, and he doesn't know I'm saying it, and you guys don't know his name, and it's completely anonymous, and I'm just saying it on stream. If it counts, if I just say it on stream, and they know that I'm streaming about it, but no one knows who they are, and they report me and it gets me banned, then I'm literally blocking all VODs forever. Because this game is fucking at a ridiculous totalitarian level of censorship. It means I cannot, it means I have to pretend and not be productive in a party. You guys have to understand, I'm not a dick to people. I'll shout things that are silly in raids. I'll say weird shit in raids. I'm not telling the person that. And I'm not starting fights in parties ever. I'm usually the ones that tries to peacekeep in those. How many times have I been warned banned? I haven't been warned banned with Twitch. I've been warned and banned. I don't think this will affect me still, guys. I think they would take the discretion and understand that I'm not actually insulting people in the game. And that I am willing to hide names and never start stuff in the game and always be as polite as I can. The worst that you'll get from me is neutral blunt without being negative. Like I'll say, to do this mechanic, you have to do it like this. Like that's kind of how I act. I don't think I'm gonna get in trouble. Like I said, guys, the way they usually do these is they make them very, very wide open so that they can take their own discretion with this kind of stuff. So I think I'm okay. I've never been in trouble. Everyone knows when I joke, I'm tongue-in-cheek, and I feel genuinely terrible if someone if I'm playing with someone and they feel like I'm having to go at them, like for real. I feel actually really terrible. That's why I started hiding names, because I want to preserve their anonymousness, because it's all in good fun and I don't actually get mad, right? I'm not actually road raging. It's none of that bullshit. This kind of stuff is rude. It's basically saying don't be rude. Respecting the opinions of others and expressing your own opinions in the form of a suggestion does not constitute a violation. For example, it is not a violation to suggest one's own opinion or to present a counterproposal to an opinion. Example of a non-violation. However, in the example of non-violation, you're trying to impose your playstyle on others by unilaterally excluding their opinions without respecting theirs. Example 1. We can only be, let's say, E12S by using cross lines. You can't do it the other way, so stop doing it. That is a violation. That will get you banned. Example of a non-violation. I think E12S will go more smoothly if we do cross lines. So I want to try doing it this way. Is that okay with everyone? Guys, I am so slick. I am so slick, guys. I am so slick. I think my history in working in customer support already taught me how to talk like this. I know how to talk in a way that tricks someone into thinking they're like in on the idea and they're coming up with the idea, rather than me saying that they're wasting time. You say, hey guys, would everyone be okay with this idea? It might make it easier. If everyone's on board with this, maybe you guys could help me figure this out. It is part of being not charismatic, but it's part of being it's part of convincing people. There's a certain way you need to talk in real life, by the way, to convince people, and you need to be cordial and polite and not sound like you're commanding people. Okay? And that's just normal. I can tell who has no fucking social skills in this game because of the way they type shit. You just need to be nice and friendly. Not everyone knows how to do that. When I was 17, I didn't know how to fucking type. It was after I worked in customer support I learned how to actually properly talk. Because I typed, I would just be like, do this or you're gonna get killed, and this is gonna just kill us permanently if you keep trying to do this. I don't know why you're doing that. Like, if you talk like that, you're gonna get banned. Which, do I think you should get banned if you talk like that? No. But that's not how I talk ever. Because I know it's just gonna make people mad. Example 2 of a violation. You need a communication course? Just pretend to be polite. Like Japanese or something. I do think language barriers make people sound aggressive because EU breaks, like, your average player on EU breaks like half of all these rules just because of the language barrier. Imagine coming home from work to play Final Fantasy XIV and you have to restrict your language even further and be more professional than you are at your job. Hey guys, just be like me. Use the auto-translator in every duty ever. Example 2 of violation. Your idea is ridiculous. What are you talking about? Response. I understand your opinion, but I think I can do better with this. What do you think? The more I read this, the more ridiculous it sounds. I'm getting attacked by the enemies. Can you put on your stance? This is not a violation, by the way, guys. These are safe. I'm getting attacked by enemies. Can you put on your stance? It would be great if you could focus on healing because I'm in trouble. Wait, you can say this? There you go, guys. We figured it out. Simply say, it would be great if you could focus on X because I'm in trouble. That's how you say literally everything in the game now. That's it. It would be great if you could focus on your stance because I'm being attacked. It would be great if you could focus on your lion tether because I got flamed. It would be great if you could focus on the addle there because I died. You just... There you go. There you go, guys. It would be great if you could focus on thing they fucked up because I'm in trouble. Just make several macros of that. It would be great if you could focus on staying alive because I am wiping. I don't know if you can say that. That's why I think it's funny because this could be easily passive aggressive. When offering suggestions or making requests, it's important to include your reasoning. Making suggestions and requests without a clear understanding of the reason often leads them to misunderstand your intention. Additionally, making suggestions or requests does not necessarily mean that they are accepted. When your suggestion is rejected, you cannot then criticize or blame others, pressure others, or otherwise refuse to respect their opinion. Persistently repeat the same thing. All I hear here, this is all I hear. Some guy joins my team. They want to do things their way. I kick them. Resolve. And then we clear. You don't need to abide by these rules if you fucking kick the dude that's fighting with everyone. And he's not going to bait you into getting reported either. Because you're supposed to respect each other's opinions. When this guy could be coming in and telling you to change all your strats. Do everything his way. And that's his opinion. And he might say it in a nice way that abides by the TOS. I'm going to kick them out. I'm going to say I apologize, there are other parties that might be doing that, or you might have more success in your own. This party is only doing this strategy. If they then are like, you're not respecting my opinion, I'm going to kick them. If I get banned for that, this game's fucking stupid. I don't think I'm going to get banned for that. If I get banned for that, then I can't pug in this game anymore. Then Square Enix literally does not want you to clear raids. Because that is so bad for pugging. Alright, here we go. Let's continue here. It is prohibited to make statements such as the following examples to try to kick someone from the party, content, community, as if they are not qualified to participate. If a report has been filed and it is confirmed, a penalty will be issued. If you can't do the mechanic well, maybe you shouldn't be joining the party. They literally don't want people to pug in this game. They literally don't want people to pug. They literally want people to avoid pugging. Trolling is allowed. Trolling is allowed. It is a free-for-all troll fest in this game, guys. Congratulations, everyone. You can go into a part 2 clear party, wipe on lions, and if someone types, if you can't do lions, maybe you shouldn't join, boom, you can get them banned. If you're going to talk like that, why don't you just quit? If you don't understand that, you'd be wise to leave the party. Let's ignore them. Let's leave this person out. It's not worth wasting our time. You should quit. Don't join if your equipment is that bad at a low level. I really hope that they take very careful consideration and very careful discretion if they look at these types of reports, guys. And I hope they have very good GMs, which are outsourced, by the way. I hope they have very good training for their outsourced GMs when it comes to stuff like this. Because on a case-by-case basis, in my personal experience, this is the best reason to kick someone from a party. This is the best reason. Is that they cannot do a mechanic that is advertised as you should have mastered it. And this is why you see people disbanding in this game. And what is the dumbest thing in this entire game? Disbanding a party when there's a bunch of people that are good in it. You guys want to circumvent a disband? You guys want to protect yourselves while still disbanding? It's very simple. Say, sorry everyone, I need to disband. Reinvite the players that were good. Blacklist the guy that you disbanded over. Reform. And then keep going. That's my solution. If one person ruined your entire party, they took no responsibility, and they were jerks to you, and you didn't want to get yourself into a ban, you can't report them, and you're afraid to kick them, just say, sorry everyone, GG, disband it, reinvite, and blacklist. I've done that before. I've done it. I encourage you guys to continue pugging. Just learn these rules, circumvent them, okay? Please note that Square Enix may issue a penalty at its discretion even if a report has not been filed, but the act was found conducted in public areas such as search comments, Party Finder, and online streaming services. Their entire, I just want to point out, their entire TOS applies to Twitch. I really hope this doesn't count with saying stuff to myself on Twitch while hiding everyone's names. Otherwise, I'm literally gonna have to turn off VODs and sub only the VODs, and disable all clips and hide my content because the game is just fucking crazy. I'm gonna become a Guardian Tales streamer full time. These are the oh my god! Holy shit! Holy shit, guys! These are the points related to the real world. It is prohibited to use these expressions. I hope this virus does the job. Oh my god. COVID-19 typed this message out. Who would say that? COVID-19. You said that? Did you read that? Did you read that? Oh, I hope this virus does the job. Just as in the real world, it is important to consider of other players to maintain cordial relationships and that positive experiences in the world of Final Fantasy XIV. It is prohibited to make expressions or to act in a way that would be unacceptable in the real world. Oh, yes. In Final Fantasy, player communities have their own specific set or loosely established rules and guidelines, which are involved in their own manners and blah, 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 blah. Intentionally ignoring the community-specific rules and guidelines while being aware of them or unwilling to learn them, a report can be made. Keep the peace, guys. Remember, this all applies to Twitch. We're gonna get into more stuff now. This TOS is very long. Spamming. Obstruction of play refers to all behavior that obstructs another person's gameplay. Are you ready, guys? This is where we flip it around and see if we can, if people that are ruining parties and PF single-handedly and saying you don't pay my sub as they wipe us 5 times, we're gonna see if they can be banned, okay? Kind of annoys me that consistently playing in a way that harms the experience of players around you is perfectly fine, even if it's blatantly obvious. But you get mad. You encounter one of these people and say the wrong thing and then you're done. Yeah, it's basically troll-friendly, Raviel. But we'll see. Here we go. You cannot... I'm gonna skim this. It's basically saying... large-scale content, such as alliance raids and PvE, you cannot spam a bunch of shit, okay? Blah, 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 blah. Obstructing transit progress. For those of you that don't know this, blocking NPCs. Quest NPCs. Basically, Asmongold scenario. You can get banned for that. The Asmongold effect, where they modify their TOS specifically because someone too famous is playing the game. Obstructing the activities of others, initiating trades when someone is trying to teleport. For those who didn't know, this is one of the oldest and longest running ways to get banned in this game. If someone tries to teleport, you can trade cancel them. If you say don't, and they do it again, they are banned. It takes 2 tries to get someone banned. You can bait people into doing it. You can annoy someone over and over and over and over in ways that don't break the TOS to bait them. And then they might, if they know how to trade cancel you, they might do it. If they do it twice, you can get them banned on the spot. It is a very, I've known people who got people banned by baiting them into trade canceling them. Joining or recruiting a party and immediately leaving disbanding once the party has been formed. Excuse me? You cannot join or recruit for a party in Party Finder and then immediately leave or disband once it's been formed. See, everyone always thinks this means doing it over and over again, or this is going to be taken into a special context. Except there's people that fall between the cracks and get banned for accidental first-time innocent TOS breaks all the time. All the time, people who are not trying to be mean to anybody get banned, and they don't even know why. And the GM hands them a ban. Not a warning, a ban. These bans take 3 to 6 years to begin falling off. You get too many in 3 to 6 years, it's a perma. The rules are so harsh, and it is so easy to break them, that if a GM makes a mistake and gets you banned, it is a big deal. So I hope they take very good consideration on this, because I have left, been in the party for 10 minutes, and said, I'm really sorry guys, I need to go. So I hope a GM doesn't say, oh, Ferro was actually trolling, and he only joined so that he could block the spot, and then join an opposing party. Or something. Attempting to impede a player's ability to use the Mog Station box. Yeah, that's obvious. Repeatedly sending friend requests. Link shall invite their player invitations to a party player after being denied. I wonder if I can do that with FCs that keep spamming me. I don't think they're going to actually ban for this. But just don't have your kid puke all over the place. Like, I don't know what's so hard about that. Like, stop having emergencies, guys. When you're gaming in the world of Final Fantasy and you're joining Eorzea, you should be ready for anything in real life. You should be ready to not go back to real life for at least 2 days. Okay? So really hold up with those excuses, everyone. Okay? Alright, let's continue here. Obstructing gameplay using combat. Using actions during combat to cause other players to fall from platforms or field areas to incapacitate them. Well, I don't think I've ever done this more than 3,000 times. But I think I'm below 3,000 times, so I might be okay here. Using and manipulating enemy-related actions in order to incapacitate other players or interfere with gameplay. I think I'm still below 3,000 times with this one. I think I'm still good. Gathering groups of enemies to obstruct the view of others. Unfortunately, this is just the way the game is. If you've ever done the second Gordius fight, that's gonna happen. Ban all tanks. Oh, someone said to scroll up. Simply performing the acts listed above will not result in immediate violation. They could be caused unintentionally or it be due to unintended circumstances. If it has been determined that the above behaviors were done intentionally or repeatedly, then the penalty will be issued. So there you go, guys. That's what I thought, though. We all thought that, though. It's just fun to fuck around with the idea. When I first read it, it was like, yeah, okay. So again, same shit. They're gonna take it. You have to be doing this repeatedly to get banned with these guys. I'm pretty sure all these are gonna say you have to do them repeatedly or be very obviously doing it on purpose. Unjustified use of vote dismiss. Dismissing a player in a way that is unjustified. If a report has been filed and prohibited the activity, a penalty will be issued. You guys might be annoyed with me by this. This is the only thing I have ever reported other people for in this game. Because I have been vote dismissed for no fucking reason. without saying anything, without playing badly, I've been vote dismissed just because the person feels like it. I got vote dismissed from a dungeon because I just hit that level, so my gear was a few levels back, and the dude pulled a pull that you couldn't even do at max gear, that I'd never seen anyone try and do before, that I could never do before, even when I went in with my raid team into that dungeon. He did the most ridiculous pull I've ever seen. He died, he got pissed, and they vote kicked me. What dungeon? Doma Castle, I think? It was a leveling dungeon. If anyone knows anything about leveling dungeons, they have absurdly hard pulls, and they sink you very brutally. Yes. Did he pull the entire first lane? Yes, he did. He pulled... He went to the boss, dude. Like, I don't know how far you can pull in there, but I remember... Maybe we wiped once and then got to the next part. He pulled to the fucking boss. He pulled all the way to, like, the 3 jets. With the giant... and all the other guys, and they kicked me, and I reported them, and the GM was like, yo, we'll take a look into it. It's fucking stupid if you get vote kicked like that. Report them if they do that, okay? There's a difference between wanting to pull a moderate amount of enemies and demanding you do outrageous pulls that I know for a fact are crazy. And you need to be max geared, and your team needs to be, like, really good. That's like a challenge pull. Okay. And if you wipe, if I do a big pull and we wipe, I'm like, sorry guys, that was my fault, honestly. And people are usually cool with it. If I kick people, I deserve to get banned. Intentionally leaving or disconnection refers to the act of obstructing another person's gameplay by intentionally leaving the game or disconnecting from the server. You guys are gonna have fun memeing on this one. Since the game relies on internet connectivity, it is inevitable that there will be network disconnections or real-life circumstances which prevent you from playing the game. Simply disconnecting or remaining inactive will not result in a penalty. However, if a report is filed, a penalty will be issued if the following types of situations are confirmed to be occurring repeatedly. If you disconnect right after entering a duty, oh shit, I've done that. If it occurs when the progress is not going well. Occurs when the team is about to be defeated in PvP. Even if there was no intention to interfere with others, repeated occurrences can be a nuisance to others. If you're experiencing network instability, or if you are frequently unable to play due to real-world circumstances, be considerate of others by refraining from participating in duty content. Basically, don't play the game, because this game is impossible to play without a duty. Taking into account that you may be unintentionally cause issues for others. Take that with what you will, guys. You might need to be finishing your castrums. This is the TOS. This is basically, for those who are coming into the stream and don't know what this is basically, they essentially declassified their player behavior rules that used to be internal for years. And no one knew how you could really get banned in this game. It was all word of mouth. This is the official Square Enix behavioral rules that are essentially declassified today. And I've been going over, this is big. I've been going through this for 2 hours now. These are extensive on every possible thing in the game that could get you banned. So you might want to study this. Improper following. We already know what improper following is. It's when you repeatedly follow someone over and over and over, and they ask you to stop and you keep doing it, okay? They already went over this. Ranking manipulation abuse. Manipulating the outcome of a match. Due to the need for fairness in public rankings, even rankings that feature a small number of participants will be penalized if it is confirmed that the ranking manipulation is taking place, okay? For those who are coming in late, probably one of the most urgent ones for me, one of the most urgent things in this whole document was one that said if you have a free company of 10 people and one person is offended by a mildly vulgar joke that the other 9 people are okay with, that one person can report the 9 other people in the FC and get them all banned because that one person was offended. So if you are in an FC and you say, it's Cock Thursday, woohoo, it's Cock Thursdays, and that person gets mad, they can ban all of you. They can get you all banned. So traders, snitch traders and FCs, watch out for them, guys. You know what, you guys, if you can't say that in your FC, you can just say it in this chat. It's no different. Aiding the enemy, uncooperative behavior, lethargic behavior. I don't want to heal because there's a player I don't like in the group. This is about PvP. I don't think we can clear this anyway, so I'll just get hit by the enemy and AFK after I'm knocked out. I'm going to join the opposing team as a healer and do nothing so my friends on the other team can win the content. This is PvP stuff. Advertising offers, this is why they have done this today. Advertising offers to help clear content, to help earn loot via the Party Finder. It is prohibited to advertise using the Party Finder to offer help to clear duties or obtain items, to help people clear raid content or obtain items by having them join your party. A penalty will be issued if the act has been confirmed. This prohibits the act of advertising such support and does not prohibit those asking for help themselves through the use of Party Finder. It is not a violation to ask for help or to offer a reward when asking for help, as is the following examples that do not violate our policy. However, in the examples that do violate it, the person offering help is advertising their services, which is prohibited. Examples of violations: selling duty for 1,000,000 gil, selling duty clear or offering the associated rewards from the content. Join for more info or details. This is banned. Want to sell is banned. Want to buy is fine. Help me is fine. And someone already posted a picture earlier that they're already just doing this instead, saying help me out, and then posting all the stuff that they're selling. So, I mean, are they going to ban people that say help me out and then list everything in the game? They should ban them? Well, they need to rewrite their TOS and say you're not allowed to say help me out and then list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 duties and then put Palace of the Dead, PvP, Blue Mage, and Mounts. And they'll be like, okay, remove Palace of the Dead. And then an hour later, post a message that adds Palace of the Dead and removes PvP. How are they going to do this? You cannot say help me out with more than one duty at a time? That might actually be the rule. They might say you are not allowed to ask for help for more than one duty at a time. Why is selling games for in-game currency bad? Because they're completely clogging all of Party Finder with half a dozen or more saying that they're doing it, and then you join the party and it turns out they're doing it for real money. They make you add them on Discord. And they're not doing it for Gale. They're saying it as a front that they're doing it for Gale, but they're not. Basically, want to buy is fine. Want to sell is banned. Examples of non-violation. I'm new. Can anyone help me clear? Help me clear. I'll pay you 1,000,000 gil. I'd like some items from this. We'll pay 1,000,000 gil if I get it. This is all fine. You want to make a party and say, want the mount, every kill, I'll give everyone 1,000,000 gil. You want to say, help me clear UCOB, I give everyone 3,000,000 gil if we clear. That's all fine, guys. Other solicitations that fall far outside of the intended purpose of Party Finder. Here we go. The main purpose is to recruit members to participate in content. Any recruitment listed that does not match its intended category is prohibited. So Party Finder ship posters, beware here. The other category is intended for recruiting players to participate in content that is not listed in the categories. Promoting player events, housing-related promotions, advertising for the purchase of sales or items, recruitment of members for community groups such as Link Shells or Free Company, and I guess trying to recruit ERP partners as well. Recruiting snuggle bunnies to snuggle into your bed with you. And you're a cute cat girl, because Square Enix literally said at the start of this document that you can erotic roleplay with each other in this game as long as everyone is consenting, with 2 or more people. So I assume you can recruit for feet and shit too. Purchasing a plot of land with the intent to resell it. Please note that Square Enix may conduct investigations and issue a penalty at its discretion if a report has not been filed. Other obstructions of play. Monster player kill is an act of sending a monster toward another player so that they are knocked out or obstructing another person's gameplay. It's a good thing I have not seen every other streamer that I have watched do this thing. I'm not going to call out Momo for killing Defina when she was crafting, nor will I call out Zeph for pulling a star mob in Baja and slaying like 10 people with it who are watching a 1v1. So we're good here, guys. Impersonation means impersonating or fraudulently claiming to be another player, Square Enix employee, or any other third party. This could involve using a character name, free company name, that resembles one that is used by another person, or using a name that is the same as or similar to the name of a Square Enix employee. I hereby state that I will report to the maximum amount I am allowed to anyone that tries to steal my character names intentionally. However, I will never report anyone that makes fun of my name with character names. So whoever made Ferro's Malding Kitty, Scholar will never be good again. Gerald is cooler than Ferro. Gerald has a nice cock. Like, all that stuff. I'm not going to report any of that shit, so don't worry. Yeah, there's someone named Ferro's Malding Kitty. You're fine there, guys. You're fine. Just don't steal my character name. Don't steal my character name. Yo, what's up, Gerald? How you doing, man? I was just talking about you. I was just talking about that guy that was named Gerald Has a Nice Cock. Remember that guy? They, Gerald, if you haven't seen it, they've completely updated for everyone that just came in the stream, Square Enix has declassified all of their internal rules that they look at that can get all players banned in this game. It is no longer a mystery what the rules are in this game and how you can get banned and why you can get banned. It's all in this document, declassified now. Square Enix strictly, this is a big one, Square Enix strictly prohibits the use of third-party programs or tools as these disrupt the balance of the game. Third-party programs and tools that permit automated or absentee play are prohibited. I would like to remind everyone on Ether, Primal, Crystal, Light, and Chaos that using an auto marker and Ultima weapon can get you reported and banned if anyone in that party does so. If someone doesn't like you in that party, they might blend in. You might not know they don't like you. They can report you and get you banned for doing that. You got to use Mac. So if you want to cover yourself, don't use that program in there. You don't need to. You can do Titan very easily with macro markers. Macro self markers is what you want to use, not the auto marker program. You're putting your neck out there to get banned if you do that. A game master may speak to players to investigate and confirm absentee play. This is also talking about botting, guys. They have not talked about damage calculation, okay? They have not talked about parsing here. Obviously, we know that's against the TOS, but they take much more seriously botting and auto marking. You cannot bot. Remember that guy that was streaming and he fell asleep and his character was still fighting when he fell asleep at the stream? And his character automatically, it had permanent sprint, and he had his character did IR and then tomahawk like 5 times. That's what they call absentee play. Basically, anything that modifying, analyzing, integrating, reverse engineering game software data, creating, distributing, using, or promoting utilities that interact with the game. ACT is banned. Why would you stream yourself botting? He was trying to sell his character for like $800 or something. Real money RMT. I don't think we need to know this, but we'll do it. Examples of RMT include offering or receiving compensation for accounts, characters, guild, in-game services, in-game items, and in-game activities. All right. Political, religious, commercial, and promotional activities. It is prohibited to engage in activities or advertisements where players can see them, such as shout through Party Finder. I think this means you are breaking TOS if you advertise your stream. Misuse of bugs, exploitation of bugs, ignoring GMs, account sharing or loaning. It is prohibited to share, lend, or disclose account or login details with others. Sharing, lending, or disclosing information result in an adverse effect, such as the account information being modified, and it could lead to the inability to verify the identity of the account holder. Basically, if you're sharing your account, you know, with your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, keep in mind that they might take it, they might flag your account or something. And that seems to cover it all, guys. There we go. Trading Mog Station items for in-game currency is RMT. Yes, it makes sense. People are acting so afraid, but this is the stuff we knew already. I mean, with ACT, yes. Everyone's already known that for years. Everyone's known that for years. The important thing is, there's a lot of stuff when it comes to pugging, which is my expertise, that you have to be careful with, because you could very easily get banned. Is ACT safe or no? ACT has never been safe and never will be safe. ACT has always been breaking the rules. Using a third-party app such as parsing any modifications to ACT is breaking the rules. Using any add-ons whatsoever is considered TOS breaking, and it is a possibility that a GM may ban you for it. What about G-Shade? Yes, G-Shade is breaking TOS. Yes, every mod is breaking TOS. If you're not playing vanilla, you are breaking TOS. Understand that just because everyone uses it, and everyone you know uses it, Square Enix has literally been saying the same shit for years. Do I care if you use it? I don't care if you use this stuff. I don't care. I don't even care if you break TOS. Just understand that you don't talk about it if you use it, okay? It is against TOS. It always has been. It probably always will be. It's just the only reason Square Enix doesn't enforce it is because they said if they enforce it, they will need to break the law in certain countries and basically put, I think it's spyware on your computer to detect what programs you're running. So they refuse to do it. That's what Blizzard did, I think. Should they ever change their mind, you will see massive sweeping bans in this game, possibly. We don't know how far they would take it. I think SC wanted parsing tools. They'd have made their own by now. They already have their own parsing tools. They already use their own parsing tools when they test raids. They already have a parse built into one of the fights to Ultimate Weapon. His enrage order is dependent on whoever did the most amount to the least amount to most amount of DPS in order in his phase, is how Ultima's enrage is determined. For years, they've already used their internal parsing. They said they would never release one for the players because they believe if you release a solo parser that only you can see, everyone would demand to see screenshots of it to prove how good your DPS is before you can join a party. So all people can do in this game is just inflate the eye level to a ridiculous level that makes it less newbie friendly, because if they don't inflate the eye level, then people that suck with low eye level will join, as opposed to people that are really good with low eye level. So basically what I have to do when I'm on a new character is I have to tell the person, I've cleared this thing a lot of times, so let me in even though I'm a low eye level, and I won't let them down, and then usually they're cool with it. You did that today, Gerald? Yeah, I do it all the time. I'm just like, I get why they inflate the eye level, because people don't know what they're doing and they're not allowed to call anybody out. But yeah, like I said, guys, you want to be safe in this game? Don't talk to anyone too much when it comes to PF if someone's a disaster. You ask permission before you give someone polite criticism. If they deny the criticism and they're ruining your party, you disband the party and re-invite everyone back that was good, and then blacklist the one player that was bad. If they decline criticism and they're ruining the party and they're not apologizing or taking ownership, they're not a team player. You don't want to get in trouble for kicking them, you can disband, invite everyone else back that was good. Nothing wrong with blacklisting someone that's messing up a lot. And I'm talking about PF Savage. Are there any sellers today? I can't read Japanese, so I do not know. I doubt Square Enix is going to have an anti-cheat. They would have to rework so much for that to make sense. Yeah, I think they would. Yeah, it's all going to be help me out. It's just going to be help me out and then have every duty listed. Help me out. Do you guys remember what we say? Do you remember what you say whenever you have a problem with someone in this game that Square Enix themselves had as the example? Let's recap one more time, everyone, what we've learned today. Expressing your wishes in the form of a request does not constitute a violation. It would be great if you could focus on healing because I'm in trouble. Remember this, guys. You just rephrase it. You just keep rephrasing it, everyone. It would be great if you could focus on tanking because I'm in trouble. It would be great if you could focus on the lion tether you got because I'm in trouble. Remember, guys, always put it would be great if you could focus on thing they fucked up. And then you just put because X is in trouble. So this is how you talk in PF, okay? And there's Ferro's Malden Kitty, by the way. Making a character name that is similar to another character's name, which is meant to impersonate them, is breaking the TOS. Making a character name that mocks them in any way is breaking TOS. This is fine. This is totally fine, dude. There's nothing wrong with this. Is there another, is there a new screenshot of sales teams? Are they still in there? Well, time to get reporting.